Vigilant Christian Mario, and you're here for another edition of Illuminati Media Exposed. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the MKUltra program in Hollywood, and talk about how it is being used in the entertainment industry. If you haven't seen my video previously, it's in the description section. I show where Roseanne, a Hollywood insider, has come out saying that there is a massive mind control program in Hollywood, and she specifically said MKUltra. So now we need to examine, we need to sit back and look and analyze at the entertainment industry, at Hollywood, to see if this is true. Is she saying the truth? Is there a massive mind control program that is a huge problem in the entertainment industry? Absolutely. And in today's video, that's what I'm going to expose. I'm going to show you that the Illuminati mind control program is in full effect in the entertainment industry. And not only that, that they are hiding it hidden in plain sight in subliminal messages. So that's what we're going to do in today's video. So let's get right into it. Now, if you didn't tune in yesterday to the channel, I uploaded an interview done with researcher Fritz Springmeier on the MKUltra Illuminati mind control program. So in this interview, you actually hear me and Fritz go over how the program works. This is a very hard thing for a lot of people to understand. We're talking about a CIA, very sophisticated mind control program. It comes from Nazi Germany. This is the US Illuminati government taking what the Illuminati German government was developing and continuing it. If you remember, there was what was called Project Paperclip, where the US government was public, was exposed, showing that they brought over Nazi scientists to continue in the occult satanic studies. If you study Hitler, you're going to see that he was a Luciferian. He believed in theosophy, which is a form of occultism, and he had beside his bed a book by Madame Blavatsky, a leading theosophist and Luciferian. Now, to the public, he pretended to be Christian. This is a typical thing that Luciferians do. Jesus even warned us that they would do this, that they would come in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they were ravenous wolves. So this is what Hitler was, a Luciferian occultist, an elitist who was into occultic sciences and trying to develop that for mind control and global government and things like that. So now we have it again today here. The US Illuminati government, the secret government, has brought over these scientists to continue, and now in today's world we have a more sophisticated form of what was the MKUltra program back in the day. So I'm not going to go too much into how the program works. Fritz Springmeier has a fantastic book called How the Illuminati Create an Undetectable Total Mind Control Slave. It was the topic of discussion for our interview, so in the description section, like I said, you can find that interview. And we go into detail more in that video than I will in this one on how they break the victim and things like that. So I'll just give you a very brief overview before going into how this is being shown to us subliminally in Hollywood, but I really recommend that you check out the video. So how it happens here, this was actually a picture from I forget which magazine, but it was like a fashion magazine, and this was supposedly new fashion. This is photography and art these days. But really what this is hidden in plain sight, the MKUltra mind control program. What you have on your right is the handler. This individual is constantly in control of the victim. This is why you see Hollywood stars. They always have someone around them controlling them. Britney Spears is always surrounded by what could be called her handler. And this person is responsible for making sure that everything goes in order, that the right cues and triggers are hit at the right times. Also, they are responsible to administer the trauma-based mind control. As you can see here, they're administering a form of what could be torture, mind control. They're breaking down the individual. If you listen to me and Fritz Springmeier discuss this, you're going to find out that the goal is to psychologically break down the individual. It is trauma-based mind control. So what they need to do is put the individual through so much trauma through either drugs, electroshock therapy, or other methods that we discuss in the video. They will bring you to a place where you're the level of trauma is so high that an individual will either do one of three things. They will either disassociate. Those who have a dissociative personality will oftentimes be able to take themselves out of the event and have more of a witnessing consciousness, and those are the ones that are really be able to be used in the program. But the other two people that they try and do this mind control to will either die from the level of trauma, literally just die on the spot, or will completely shatter mentally, like completely go psycho and never come back. There's no piecing them back together, and then they can't be used in the program. So 1/3 of the victims actually are successful in the mind control program. Not all victims make it through. A lot of them, the majority of them, 2 out of 3 of them, are disposed. But for the 1 out of 3 that's successful, the method in which it is used, it is trauma-based mind control, in which things like senses deprivation, drugs, electroshock therapy, all sorts of different things are used in order to create the breakdown of the individual. They want to bring you to a place of trauma where they can then, at that level, start to impose personalities and demonically inspire those personalities and alters. And then they begin to impose certain triggers. This is a very highly sophisticated program of demon possession. That is what we are dealing with. But when we look at these things, we need to recognize that the power and authority of Jesus Christ is all that we need to do. But we need to recognize that if ever we were to deal with unprogramming and casting out demons of a mind control victim, we're dealing with a legion of demons. These are individuals who go through this mind control, and there's a ton of demons that are put inside of these people. So we need to recognize that this is high-level occultism, high-level demon possession at its highest form. So I won't go too much into that, but that's just a general idea of the mind control program that is occurring. They're breaking down the stars. This is what Miley Cyrus and Britney Spears are going through. They are victims. This is why we have to be very careful in the way that we talk about the victim themselves, because they're a victim. Okay, like keep that in mind. Britney Spears and Miley Cyrus were handed over by their parents as children. That is sick and twisted. And then we're going to turn around and call them names and look down on them, the victim, the child that was handed into this satanic cult as a child. No, that's not Christ-like at all. Now, what we're seeing in Hollywood, I have a video on Shia LaBeouf's Illuminati MK Ultra mind control breakdown. He went around recently and displayed signs of an Illuminati mind control slave breakdown. That is exactly what's occurring. A lot of people, including the mainstream media, want you to believe that he just went crazy. This is not true, not at all. As Roseanne said, there's a problem with MK Ultra in Hollywood. So because there's a real problem, there's a real mind control, and there are real mind control slaves like Shia LaBeouf, Britney Spears, Amanda Bynes, they're going to break down. And this is what we see in the media. Now, the Illuminati control the media, so they're always going to spin it like the artist is going crazy. But that's not actually what's happening. These individuals are breaking down from the mind control program. Now, when Britney Spears ran away and she shaved off her head, the shaving of her head was very significant. In the Illuminati cult, if you study them, they're a bunch of white supremacists. Just look at Hitler. He was one of these Illuminists. He was one of the cult members of the Illuminati who was trying to bring about the New World Order for Satan and rid the world of white people. Of Christians and Jews. And all he wanted was white people with blue eyes. This Aryan, superior, superhuman, occult race of humans. That was his idea. So in the Illuminati, they really want white women with blonde hair. They don't want anything else, and that is commonly what you will see in their rituals. They will have to have the blonde hair. So her running away and shaving the blonde hair was her standing in opposition to the satanic cult, who desires her when they do the sex rituals with her as a sex slave, because that's part of the mind control program that she has blonde hair. So Amanda Bynes, again, another one. I'll leave a video I did on her as well in the description section, and my Shia LaBeouf. You have to wake up. This is not just stars that, because of the pressures of entertainment and fame, are resorting to drugs. And this is what the media wants you to think. And there's even paid agents on YouTube that are spinning that story. It's not true at all. They're covering up the MK Ultra program that is going on in Hollywood. Even one particular YouTuber who supposedly is for truth will tell you not to pay attention to Roseanne's testimony about MK Ultra in Hollywood, because he doesn't want you to really look at these things. So there is a massive cover-up, and we need to recognize real researchers like myself and Fritz Springmeier are going to be exposing the reality of the mind control program. So now let's expose it in Hollywood, hidden in plain sight. This is a video from Katy Perry at the end of her video for Wide Awake, and in fact the entire video for Wide Awake is one about mind control. Now, she starts off in a maze. The maze is to symbolize the inner workings of her mind as a mind control victim. She then goes and walks in a room with a checkerboard floor, or a checkered floor. It's not black and white, but it's checkered, and there's mirrors everywhere. The mirror is also a symbol in the mind control program. If you look at a lot of these Satanists and occultists, they would look at Michael Jackson in his basement, had a room full of mirrors. They believe that through mirrors they can spirit contact and contact different demons. So this is one of the reasons that you'll see the mirror symbolized. But then anyway, she goes through the mirror shatters, and all of a sudden she finds herself in a mental institution. And there's two handlers that is shown after with Baphomet heads. What is she doing? What is going on, people? Seriously, if MK Ultra is not a huge problem in Hollywood, in the entertainment industry, why is it hidden in plain sight right in front of our eyes? Like, this doesn't even make any sense, people. Come on. Show this to people who don't know this stuff is going on and ask them a serious question. Why is this in the video? Why? What does it mean? Why is she in a mental asylum looking like she's a victim of MK Ultra mind control? There's two handlers with demonic Baphomet heads on them. And there's a little girl pushing her off trying to save her, which could be easily interpreted as one of her personalities, her little girl personality who's trying to save her from the mind control program. Like, come on, it doesn't even make any sense. Ask them to articulate intelligently why the director of this video chose to add this in there. They're not just putting this in there just because. These are artists. They're trying to convey messages and things. I mean, come on. They're getting paid millions of dollars to produce these art forms. They're telling you something here. They're not just making it for nothing. Wake up. Another video hidden in plain sight about the MK Ultra mind control program is Eminem's 3 a.m. Eminem, unfortunately, also is a victim of the mind control program. I believe that he's trying to break out, but he's not going to be allowed to. He's got too much power, and if he were to expose what's really going on in the entertainment industry, it would be way too powerful. Eminem is very powerful, and he could really wake up people to the Illuminati. I think if you listen to some of his songs, he's actually subliminally trying to expose it. But then again, he comes around in another song where he's promoting a lot of the theology and the ideas because he's a victim, he's controlled. But in the 3 a.m. video, you actually have Eminem going through a mental institute, killing people because he is demonically possessed by his MK Ultra alter, Slim Shady. When he is possessed by Slim Shady, you even see in the videos, in the video, he has snake eyes, and they make sure to show you that he doesn't remember what he does when he's Slim Shady. So he becomes demonically possessed by the MK Ultra alter that's been programmed in him through this program, this Illuminati program, goes around and murders people with all this Freemason symbolism, the towers, the sun, sketched in the back. And then they make sure to show you that when he comes back to being Marshall Mathers, he doesn't even know what just happened. And this is what's going on in the MK Ultra program. That's why in the Bourne Identity movie, Bourne doesn't remember who he is, and that's what they're showing you. Eminem here, Slim Shady doesn't, remember who Marshall Mathers, and Marshall Mathers don't remember. So it depends which of his personalities, which is in charge, if he's demonically possessed by the alter that's been programmed in him, Slim Shady. He won't remember what he did, and that's what the video is all about. Hidden in plain sight. Another video that just came out, Lil Wayne's crazy. I mean, it must just be cool to be in mental institutions and straitjackets. I guess that's the new Illuminati pop fashion thing now. I mean, it's just cool to show that, remember, MK Ultra, I talked about electroshock therapy. Here is Lil Wayne getting electroshocked. Come on, wake up, people. He's showing you right there, I'm an MK Ultra victim, slave, controlled, possessed, crazy. Okay, this is hidden right in front of our eyes over and over. Nicki Minaj, like, is it cool? Should I go buy a straitjacket today? Is that the new trend? Is that the new trend in the world, is straitjackets and mental institutions? This song is called Crazy to point out the state of mind of the MK Ultra mind control victim. This one's called Out of My Mind by Nicki Minaj and B.O.B. So, again, they're showing you, we are out of our mind. We are victims of the MK Ultra Illuminati mind control program. Lady Gaga comes out of a deprivation tank. And if you notice here, her eyes are covered, her ears are covered. This is a symbol of the MK Ultra mind control program. Deprivation, sense deprivation. This is part of it. Then after this scene, she goes up to a group of people, one guy with his eyes covered, as they put bets to buy her her contract, so to speak. So, I mean, it's just full of Illuminati. Now, here, I'm going to have to say I apologize for the sexual content that I'm going to be displaying, but I do need to expose, especially to parents, the symbolism that is being used to program our children. One thing that they're doing with the MK Ultra mind control slaves and victims is the butterfly symbolism. This is a way for you as a parent to kind of identify which of the celebrities that your children are following are being controlled by the devil in order to lead them astray. You're obviously going to see this all over the place. Katy Perry, ironically, when she performed her song Wide Awake, the one I just talked about, her showing up in the mental institution at the end for no reason, she's on stage as a butterfly. Oh, what a coincidence. No, the butterfly is actually the symbol because in the trauma-based mind control, when you reach the state of breaking, it can be compared to the flapping wings of a butterfly, of a hummingbird, because you're just so traumatized that all of a sudden you've reached a point where you can't even feel pain, you've disassociated from reality, and the symbol that is used for displaying that to the public is the butterfly. So, I mean, again, you just have it over and over again. They're going to be showing you with their MK Ultra slaves the different symbolisms in regards to the butterfly all the time. So just be vigilant, on the lookout. Here you have Shia LaBeouf, who just had a mental breakdown in front of everyone. There he is. I mean, this is a sign. They're trying to tell you. Now, why did they put their signs and symbols hidden in plain sight? Well, it's a way for them to get off the hook, because they believe that, you know, if they can show us these things before they happen, then when they get to the courts of heaven and they face God Almighty, they can blame us for it, because they can kind of sit back and say, hey, we told them, we showed them what we were doing. And that's why we need to be vigilant and recognize they are showing us these things. They're not even really hiding it. It's hidden right in plain sight in front of your face. You just have to open your eyes and see that it's already in front of you. That they're showing you this stuff. I mean, Lil Wayne in his song, here, he's literally the devil. Why a butterfly covering one eye? Why? Illuminati satanic mind control program, like Roseanne said, is a massive problem in the entertainment industry. Here it is. Wake up, people. Another symbol that you're going to commonly see in the entertainment world is this symbol, the leopard print symbol, because what this symbolizes is the sex kitten. Again, she wore a shirt, sex kitten, hidden in plain sight. Her wardrobe specialist or person that helped her, they know what they're doing. They know that this stuff's going to get out there. So you have an MK Ultra mind control beta slave, sex kitten, wearing, hidden in plain sight, the truth. And it's not the first time that they're showing you this. She often shows you hidden in plain sight. Look, I'm under satanic mind control. Upside down cross that says mind control. She is under satanic MK Ultra mind control. Now, back to the leopard print. This symbolizes the sex slave altar. Like Fritz and me explained, Fritz kind of went into detail with this in the video interview. They will impose different personalities with different triggers. One of the triggers is a sex kitten, because unfortunately these individuals have to be sex slaves to their masters. So here you have Beyonce, and let me just point something out here as well. If you notice, she's white. They made sure that this woman does not look black anymore, and that she's white with blonde hair. Remember what I said about white with blonde hair? To the Illuminati masters, that is very important. Beyonce actually got a lot of people upset because they recognize this. They say, what are you doing? You're white with blonde hair. You're supposed to be a black woman and be proud. But here in this image, Beyonce, because of the symbol, she is making her masters proud by showing that she is so submissive, she will turn on her own race, make herself out to be a white woman with blonde hair, and be a sexual sex slave for the Illuminati white supremacist Nazi cult. That is what we're seeing here, hidden in plain sight, but all subliminal, my friends. None of this is out in the open, and they're not just going to yell it at you. Now, this is sick, twisted, and I have a video. It's all in the description section, all the videos that are going to be corresponding to the stuff that I'm talking about in this video, so you can spend a good afternoon going through and getting educated on this stuff. But as you can notice, the leopard print, and this was Vogue. This is young children. This is sick and twisted. They are trying to program young children to be sexual. That's part of the Illuminati's agenda, to sexualize young children at a very young age. And Vogue, I mean, this is sick. This is the sexualization of children to the max. Vogue got a lot of negative feedback for this because this isn't a way that we should be displaying our young women. This is sick, twisted, depraved. Also, what this does is it increases the desire for pedophilia. Pedophilia is a sick, twisted, carnal desire of fallen man. And those people who suffer from the desire to have sex with young children do not need to be stimulated with stuff garbage like this. What do you think this image is going to do with an individual who already is dealing with that sick, twisted, sinful desire? It's only going to make it worse. And that's part of the agenda. That's what they want to do. They want to make people, like, they've made homosexuality okay through the media. They're going to, just like this, going to make pedophilia okay. You don't believe me? Hold on to your socks. We'll see how sick and twisted and depraved this world really gets. You have hope in humanity. I have divine revelation from the Bible that says in the end days this place is going to be pure evil, and almost every thought of man will be evil. And that's what we're seeing. So you're living in an illusion where you think things are getting better, and I'm living in the biblical reality where things are collapsing just like the Bible said they would. Now, this is symbolism all over the place. Illuminati puppet Lady Gaga, what's her name, Snooki or whatever? I don't know. I don't watch these shows enough, and I don't care enough about them to really know. But whatever, this one, you know her, part of it. In a cage. I mean, wow, really empowering to women here. This Jezebel sex kitten is to women. Oh, really awesome there too. I mean, this is obviously the sex kitten. She's possessed by this demonic altar. Very degrading, if you notice that. This is very degrading for a woman. Women, I mean, stand up. Don't drink out of a bowl. Don't think that this is sexual. This isn't what real men want. This is what satanic, twisted, pathetic little boys who don't know what true manhood is about want. So just run away from this. In the video, it's obviously about the sex slave. You even have her, the slave and the handler, symbolized in that video as well. And more sex kitten stuff. So, I mean, this is just all over the place, and it's hidden in plain sight because they're showing you that the MK Ultra program is actually going on. So, again, the kitten. Now we'll move on to a new symbol that you need to be aware and vigilant of, which is the mannequin. What is the mannequin doing in pop culture with Rihanna and everybody? How is the mannequin all powerful and cool right now? I'll tell you why. The mannequin is actually a symbol for the disassociative personalities that are programmed in the mind control victim. So, for example, here you have Megan Fox on the Masonic black and white floor. This is Megan Fox, but her altar is here. You see, because they impose these different personalities in the individual. So it's two people in one, and one of them's a demonically created altar. And this is why you're seeing this symbolism all over the place in the media. This doesn't even make sense. Come on, people. This isn't even cool. Eminem, in his song 3 AM, is sitting next to a mannequin to show his disassociative state. This is Eminem's altar. They have broken his mind. His mind was shattered through trauma-based mind control to improgram Slim Shady, a demonic altar inside of him. And now they can control him by the fact that they can control that demonic altar. And again, the mannequin, the up and down Baphomet pointing as above, so below symbolism. And again, Rihanna. And again, Megan Fox as a mannequin. And one final symbol that I just wanted to point out that just shows this, one of the techniques for the mind control is electroshock therapy, and you leave it to good old Gaga to be showing us, hidden in plain sight, that she is a mind control Illuminati victim who undergoes electroshock therapy just like Lil Wayne did in the start. Let's go back here so you can start putting two and two together, because it's just about time that you start waking up. There he is, receiving his electroshock therapy as part of his Illuminati mind control program. This is the Vigilant Christian saying God bless each and every one of you, and as always, stay vigilant.